I choose to have more love. Love that surrounds me, love that lifts me, love that flows endlessly through me. I choose to have more abundance, abundance in my body, abundance in my home, abundance in every corner of my life. I choose to have more freedom, freedom to move, freedom to dream, freedom. All right, here we are again. And we're loving the vibe on this podcast. Every week it has been nothing but firecrackers. All right? This is the Harmonic from Multiverse. I am Pamela. And I will introduce the people that are with me tonight. We have Queentierrastreasure Cage. We also have Alchemical Flame, Ofer Niv. And he's going to tell you tonight about so much that we're missing and we need right now. Things that we imagine and dare to dream as we remember who we are. And we finish our song. Filling me with all that is good, all that is possible. By right of being alive, I choose to have more. More is here, and more keeps coming. More is always waiting for me. All right, we're going to move it on along. First, we want to say Happy New Year to everybody that hasn't really been with us and they don't know who we're about as well. Today is the 21st of January. We just saw December 31st. So we are moving fast in this trajectory. Tonight, I'm going to attempt to give you an a cappella song. Please bear with me. I haven't done this in a while and I'm just, using my voice. Okay, here we go. This song is by Billie Holiday. Good morning, Heartache. Good morning, heartache. You old gloomy sight. Good morning, heartache. Thought we said goodbye last night. I turned and tossed until it seemed you had gone. But there you were in the dawn. Wish I could forget you, but you were here to stay. It seemed I met you, and my heart just went away. Now every day I stop and I'm saying to you, good morning, heartache. What's new? Stop haunting me now. I can't shake you no how. Just leave me alone. I've got those Monday blues, I said straight Sunday blues. Good morning, heartache. Here we go again. Good morning, heartache. You're the one who knew me well. Might as well get used to you hanging around. Good morning, heartache. Sit right on down.
Beautiful.
So this was about your heart, even though Billie Holiday spoke it about whatever she was singing about. I feel like she was talking about how our hearts are drifting away and how we have to, we're saying, good morning, heartache. I thought I knew you when, you know? So we're going to put it in the hands of the Alchemist Flame, Ofer Niv.
Thank you, Pam. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you, there was a time in my life, I think it was in 2000, when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and eventually I got it removed, and the thyroid. And I remember that time I would just sit in the car and listen to Billie Holiday singing every song, and there are many songs, of course, every song that she had, because it was I don't know, it was my mood. It was very heart centered, and it was definitely about the ache too, the heartache. It was I just love this lady.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna start by getting my dog out because she wants to play.
Okay.
Let me just get her out. Come on. This is a great way to start, isn't it? So, what I thought is I can explain a little bit about Alchemical Flame, what it is, because this is literally the name of the business, Alchemical Flame. It's the name of the website, alchemicalflame.com. And my name again is Ofer. And you can, if you get on the website, you can download an ebook that is free that will explain a lot about Alchemical Flame, but I'll give you a little bit. But maybe what we can start with is just a grounding something, and then I can talk some more, and then maybe we'll see where we're going with that. So just for grounding, just close your eyes if you can, not if you're driving, but sit comfortably and feel into the center of your chest, where the heart center, where the heart chakra is centered. And you'll become aware again, because it's probably not the first time, but you'll become aware that there is some sort of a light there. There is maybe a spark, but more likely for you there is a flame, and maybe it's a small flame. It doesn't burn, and I call it the alchemical flame. The alchemical flame is your life force. It's your divine life force. It's what connecting you to your spirit, what connects your spirit to the divine spirit, to God. It is all about this eternal connection that is reminding us we're not just the body, we're not just this brain, we're not just this mind, we're not just the emotion that we're feeling right now. We have this flame always, always available inside of us. And this flame, pay attention to it and see what color it is. Notice how it doesn't burn, but it's warm. And also how when you focus on it, it grows, it becomes wider, and you can bring it to any part of your body that needs healing. So it doesn't have to stay in the center of the chest. It can go to the head, it can go to the feet. It is a miracle maker because it is the true essence of who we are. And when we remember this true essence, we also know that
There is no such thing as healing without being healed. In fact, sometimes being healed can happen before you're even needing the healing, because at where the alchemical flame coming from, there is no time. That's what eternal time is. That time is not important. Everything is happening at the same time or together, and there is no before and after even. And so you can ask for healing and receive the healing before you even ask. How's that? And just focus whenever you want on this flame, especially when you have a torturous day, when you have a lot of chaos, when things are crazy. Simply take 10 seconds, go there, reconnect with your flame, and see what it feels like, and see what is changing in you as you do that. And with that, when you're ready, open your eyes, be back here, and I'll say some more, and then we'll work again with the alchemical flame to do some cool stuff, because we can work today on the challenge that I hear from a lot of my clients of being overtaxed, exhausted, fatigued, and I want to help with that. I want to go to release some of that, and to also understand a little bit of what's going on, because you can sleep for 8 straight hours and still feel very exhausted when you get up. And what's that about? Why? So we'll get back to that. I want to explain first a little bit about the alchemical flame system. It has 5 realms to it. So the alchemical flame is in the center of it all. It's the thing that it's our fuel, it's our life essence. It's there, it's moving, it causes us to feel alive, it animates us. Then how did I get to these 5 realms? The 5 realms is, okay, so I've been doing shamanic work for probably around 10 years. And then several years ago, I started to ask myself, what is it that I actually do when I do this work? What is it that I do? And then to just help make it a little clearer, I came up with, okay, there are 5 areas that I call the 5 realms that I work in. And one is the heart realm. The other one is the shadow realm. The third one is the magical realm. Then there is a realm that I call Da'ath, which is the Hebrew word for knowledge or knowing. Uh, I like knowing better than knowledge. It's like one octave higher. And then there is the divine realm, which sits on top, if you think of it as a pyramid with 4 sides, and then at the very top you would have the divine realm. That is, it's not just because it's up there doesn't make it inaccessible or harder to access. I want to make that very clear. It's available to all of us, and I'll explain a little bit about it. So we'll start with the heart realm. With the heart realm, what happens is we have beliefs that are not helping us. For example, think of things that you're telling yourself that are not helping you when something bad happens. Oh, here we go again. That'll never stop. I'm doomed. It happened again. All this is us replaying an old belief that is proving itself true every time by just us repeating it. It's becoming true over and over and over. And we think that's the truth. But beliefs are opinions. They're not the truth, especially not limiting beliefs. So if you tell yourself, I'm unworthy, That's a limiting belief. That's definitely not the truth. Because worthiness doesn't come from proving anything to anyone. It's your birthright. It's how you're born. It's how you come into this life. I'm powerless. I can't do anything. I'm not good. You know, somebody told us maybe when we were kids, you can't get anything done. You are no good. And we just internalize it. You have no value. Each of these beliefs, you'll notice, have the opposite, right? What would you rather say? I have no value, or I'm valuable? I'm bad, or I'm good? I'm not worthy, I am worthy. And so there are these opposites, but what I notice, a lot of people that come to see me, and I believe it's really the entire population, a very high percentage, we're telling ourselves stories that are not true, and they're keeping us down, and they were designed to keep us down. You know, go to any level you want. It starts perhaps with in the belly. You hear an argument between your mom and dad, and you're not even born yet, but you get the vibes. And so the vibes become your cellular structure, your connective tissue. It's right there, it's embedded. And so when you're born, of course, that, many times we come in and we just want to be fed with whatever information, whatever energy is out there. We want to be fed. What happens when chaotic or angry energy or judging energy, because we didn't do what was expected of us? What happens when we're getting this kind of talk, when somebody tells us, no, you did it wrong, do it this way? That's what you remember. You remember, I did it wrong. You remember, I'm now good. You remember being judged. And so this goes right into the heart, because that's where we hold all these limiting beliefs. And so what do shamans do? What do I do when I work with the heart realm? Is helping you see. It's almost like putting a mirror in front of you and see what you have been telling yourself. That is not only not the truth, it's really derailing you, it's blocking you. We're going over that. And then there are also all sorts of feelings and emotions. There are the 5 basic feelings of I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm happy. Thanks God this is there. And then there is fear, and there is a variation of what's called disgust. And disgust is about something that is not good for you, like having shame, having guilt, self-hatred, all these things, blame. And so these feelings, they're in the body. Their feelings are a body thing. They're biochemical reactions to something that is happening. And either it's happening outside or it's a memory that is coming up, but it's sending you a signal. And the question is, what do we do with these signals? Usually what we do with signals that we don't like I feel shame, is pushing it down. Pushing it down because we don't have time. There is this song, I haven't got time for the pain. Yeah, so we don't have time for this. We use all these mechanisms of suppression, of repression. We escape. We distract ourselves. We turn on TV. We go to a bar. We do something that will not force us to get in touch with a feeling. But the feeling is simply a vibration. That's all it is. It's a vibration, a signal that the body sent us. And it sent us because something came up. And so the question is, what to do with the feeling? I'll tell you what happens when you don't do something with the feeling. Like I said, you're pushing it in, you're pushing it down. And then guess what happens when somebody really gets on your nerves? You are like a pressure cooker at that point, because you pushed all this stuff down and it got layered on top of everything. And so one thing will trigger and you'll get the steam out, and you'll get it out probably in the wrong way, in the wrong circumstances, because it was just too much. There was this thing, I don't, it's probably still going on with some therapists, that they say, just say whatever you feel. If somebody just tell the truth, tell them exactly how you feel about everything. Here's the problem with that. It's good to say the truth. Of course, it's good to say the truth. But here's how some people interpret it is, it's a high time to go and dump on somebody else everything that I feel. It's like, it's high time for me to just be mad. And what happens energetically when we do this? When we go and yell all our pain and frustration in front of somebody else, even if it's not directed at them directly, what's happening? What happens is, this energy that was in us, we're spitting it out and it goes into them. You might feel it yourself when somebody comes into a room where you're sitting and there's a conversation and they start to be pushy, aggressive. You want to literally move back with your chair, because you feel it. You feel it in your stomach. You feel it coming into you. You feel somebody pushing their energy into you. So all that is coming from feelings that are not being processed. And then emotions are just a more complex form of feelings, because they involve memory and thoughts and all sorts of things. So what do we do with feelings? Because if we don't process them, every feeling starts running 1,000 thoughts. And these thoughts are running us crazy. They're going in circles in our brain, and we don't know how to get rid of them. We don't know how to stop thinking about the white elephant, because, when we try, it'll just immediately be the main thing we think about. And it's better to remember that for one feeling, like if you feel hopeless, that's one feeling, you'll have 1,000 thoughts. So what is better, to go and address every thought, or to just address the feeling that is like the trunk of the tree, rather than every leaf of the tree? So let's focus on feelings. Let's focus on feelings, because feelings, they are, in a way, they are for me a way shower. When somebody comes to me and say, I feel sad, it lights up for me something that needs to be discussed, understood, or simply cleared, worked on, like energy that needs to clear the body, leave the body. What you can do when you feel a strong feeling, whether you understand why or not, is the story is important only if it brings, as far as it brings this feeling up. It's not that important in terms of figuring out why somebody did this to you or that, because we really tend to get into all the details. Remember, it's just a frequency in your body that is asking to be experienced. That's what feelings are. They're experience. We came here into this world to experience. It's like creation said, let's create a man so that we can experience ourselves through the body. And that's what we're doing. So, and then feelings and emotions that get accumulated, they can cause trauma, they can cause PTSD, they're not living, it's not good. So learn how to let these things go. They come up for a reason. And when the reason is understood, for example, I'm angry. You can ask yourself, why am I angry? But the more important thing is feel the anger. Don't push it down. Feel the anger. It doesn't mean take it out on somebody else. Feel the anger and then let the anger go. Don't try to change the anger. Don't try to tell the anger you're not anger, you are distraction, or you are this or you're that. Feel the anger and then let this anger be felt. It's like a wave that ripples through the body and goes out. And so that's what we do in the heart realm. We're doing more things, but this is the heart realm. It's feelings, it's beliefs. Then we have the shadow realm. The shadow realm are things that are deeper energetically. So that includes, for example, trauma. And trauma is trauma, PTSD. These are things that we never released. It's like, think of a bullet that came into the body, like a gun bullet, and it has an entrance hole. Maybe it has an exit hole, or maybe it's still lodged in the body. But this whole passage of the bullet is an area of trauma that is still in the body if you do not release it. Animals know how to release trauma. Usually what they do is they shake it out. They shake the trauma out physically. We somehow don't learn how to do it. We don't come with it automatically. And so what we do instead is we put a bubble around the trauma, and we protect ourselves from the trauma by saying, well, now it's contained, so it doesn't, I can't feel it anymore. The bubble is not great. The boundaries of a bubble are very thin. So whenever something gets triggered in us, the trauma will come up again because it just doesn't work. It's not a great protection mechanism. And it will remind us it's here. And when it happens enough time, it becomes PTSD. And trauma is held in place by all sorts of, let's call them interferences, energetic interferences. Trauma held in the body. So it's like a bubble that is held in place with all sorts of interfering forces. It could be, for example, the force of something that I would call an entity. It's like a ghost is an entity. So we don't know that, but we sometimes receive somebody else's soul into our body, especially, if you remember an instance of visiting a hospital, coming in a pretty good mood, going out, you feel like, speaking of exhaustion, you feel like overwhelmed and exhausted and very heavy. And it's possible that when we go under anesthesia, it's possible that when we drink and we are not fully aware of what's going on, that something comes in, something that we did not invite. So these are the kind of things that can also hold trauma in place. And trauma is held in place by also things like curses, vows, all sorts of contractual agreements that are energetic. So this is one thing. Then there is the family, the generational story that is going on, because every family has something, right? Every family has a story, and it could be genetic, like the physics going through the genes. It could be epigenetics, which means that it's still going biologically, but the scientists didn't discover it yet, so we're calling it epigenetics. But it could also be something that is more energetic, that is going on within the family, like a curse that is moving through one generation to the next generation, or just tendency to be in depressed mode. Like maybe every member of the family at a certain age suddenly become depressed, or suddenly gets a specific health condition. And so we think of it as, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it will be, and that's it. And we just take it for granted. But family energy is malleable. It's not, nothing is in stone when you're talking about energy. Nothing is unchangeable. And these things are another source of trauma that we hold in us. Then there is our own story. Like we have the lineage of the family, we also have the lineage of our souls. Our souls have been elsewhere before, again and again and again and again. It's a long story. I mean, very few are newcomers. Most of us have been around, and some of us more than others. And so you are carrying a baggage of trauma, of things that unresolved unresolved stories from other lifetimes where things happen and it never got resolved. Well, it doesn't just go away because you died, not necessarily. You might carry this from one lifetime to the next. So these are the things we work in the shadow realm. We disentangle all trauma, family, ancestral stuff that is still affecting us, and we don't understand why, because it's not directly our energy, it's the energy of the family system in us, or the soul stories that we experienced before, contracts that we have between different, we're talking about things like soulmates and, twin flames. All this stuff is soul stuff that doesn't get resolved just because, we don't remember it in this lifetime. We come into this body, we forget everything because we agreed to forget. Some of us remember, but most people don't. And it doesn't go away just because we don't remember. It's still embedded in us. And so that's the work we do in the shadow realm. Then there is the magical realm, which is, as it sounds, it's very magical. It's like going into fairy tale where everything is possible. You imagine that you're going into another kingdom, and it's just imagine that there's a gateway, like a gate, actually, like a gate, and you move through the gate and you find yourself in a completely different landscape. You're seeing a garden, or you're seeing a beautiful, vast landscape, mountains in the distance in front of you, and it's not where you live. That doesn't mean it's not real. In fact, it can very well be real. And the way we get there is with our imagination. So I want to say something about imagination. Imagination can be a delusion, but imagination can also be an illusion. And the difference is, are we working with our mind to tell us the story that our ego wants to tell us, or are we simply letting these walls dissolve and we see what we see, and we go into wherever we're called to go? And so just remember, you can't force yourself into. That's a mind thing. If you try to force, I want it to look this way. That's not how it works. However, when we do it right and we do it with the imagination, it becomes real. And, when you think about it, it's not that hard to imagine, because that's how life works anyway. You want something, you first need to imagine it. You need to kind of think it, and then believe that you really want it and add to it intention, and then you add an action to it, and then it becomes real. And so everything is starting with creative imagination, and that's what creativity is. It's how we create. And so, but what happens in for example, the astral realm, which is a place you would visit a lot in the magical realm, what happens on the astral plane is, it's not just you there. It's also ancestral stuff. It's also the egregore, or the mindset of humanity. It's where a lot of emotions. So, if you're in America, you know that in the United States, you know that there's a lot of polarization. There's a lot of just very strong feelings. And I'm not going to go into any politics, I promise, but just feel how heavy it is and how polarizing it is and how big it is. And all that is not just nothing. It's not just air. It exists. It exists in the astral realm as these strong walls that humanity builds between different segments of the population. Now, it's a different question if someone wants us to do it, but I'm not even going to go there. I just want to say this is how it is. And so in the astral realm, we discover what is the root of something. because if an imagination repeats itself over and over and over, it becomes more and more real. If you imagine yourself now flying in the air, that is probably not going to mean much. But if you'll imagine it every day for a month, then maybe in dreams you'll start actually take astral projection flight lessons. And you might also find yourself on an airplane another time, because not everything needs to be hocus pocus. It's sometimes that's simply how it works. But that's why religious services are like they are. That's why there is this ritual of services that is repeated over and over and over, because they know something. They know that when you repeat the same thing over and over and over, and millions of people do the same thing over and over and over, it's a very strong creative force, and it is being created somewhere. That somewhere is the astral realm that then creates the reality that we experience here. So this reality is sort of the externalization, the what happens when everything else underneath it is done. So that's not where it started. It started somewhere in the imagination. Then it started to manifest in some inner worlds. And only when it has been manifested there and manifested enough and got the green light to proceed into becoming real, it suddenly becomes real for us. And so we use this for healing in the magical realm, because we can imagine the body as a landscape and work with the landscape. If what's supposed to be blooming is a desert, is dried out, or is burnt up, then your body is going to reflect that too. And so we work with whatever the body is looking like when you are in that other realm before it becomes the body, to help the body. So that's an example, but there's much, much more that can be done there. Then there is the what I call da'ath, or knowledge. You can think of it, if you've heard the term, the tree of life is what we do there. It's how energy is managed inside of you to, what the tree of life is the 10 levels of emanations of energy that starts from creation and then becomes like form. First there is an idea, and then it becomes a form, and then it becomes a color, and then it becomes more and more real until the 10th level is the real thing. And we travel that tree in that realm, in the realm of Da'ath. We're also crossing the bridge to the divine realm. So what is required to get to the divine realm? It's relatively simple, but it doesn't mean that it's always easy to do, but it's simple. Two things. One is accept that there is divine love, and accept the divine love. Just accept that there is divine love for you. And then the second thing is release your need to come up with a solution, because we all think that it's our job to fix our problems and nobody else will. That's, by the way, a limiting belief. That's an example. So if you can remember to let that go, that I need and only I can and nobody else, and there is no other thing to do except for I need to solve my problem. If you can let that need go, then you're aligned with, you're aligning, basically what you're doing is you're aligning your need with the divine need, with your divine need. You're aligning your need with that divine need. And when that happens, miracles happen. That's really how miracles happen. Miracles happen when there's an alignment between what we need and the highest need. When everything is aligned, it's not an effort, and that's why it becomes a miracle. So on the divine realm, it's not like in the divine realm, we can float in the divine realm because we're always held, we're supported, we're engulfed with love. It's not the only thing to do there, because one of the things we can do on the divine realm is to discover that there are different ways to see why we suffer, the different ways to see what's going on. And when you go through that, these questions, these challenges and understandings, you basically see yourself as the divine sees you. It's like you take the glasses of the divine, you put them on your eyes, and you see yourself through these glasses. And so that's how we suddenly understand that there is no death when the divine is looking at you. There is no suffering when you understand what the divine sees. And you understand that love is very real, and love is truly the only power. And so forth. So there are these understandings that are beautiful to realize, because when you realize this, things starts to manifest for you in different ways. And healing and manifesting, they are very close relatives. Like healing is mostly about releasing, but not only, and manifesting is mostly about magnetizing something or receiving something, but not only either. So very, very close and complementary of each other. And that describes the things that I work with. When I explained for myself, what is it that I actually do? I discovered, okay, these are the places we go. This is what we do. And I have to tell you, it was not like one day thing for me to understand it, because I grew up in a corporate environment. That's for almost 40 years. I was working for a large bank, and I was in data processing, and I was not saying things like that at all. So I had to be slapped really hard by the body, by all sorts of, really by being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis is what started it for me. And that was so big that I said, okay, we need to take a break. We need to stop and see what else is there, because I'm just not taking, I have this rebel in me. And so I'm not just taking what somebody told me, that there is no cure, that there is nothing to do about it, that it's going to get worse. I was just not going to take it. And that's where it started for me. And then I started to listen to all sorts of spiritual speakers and doing a lot of readings, which I still do, because I'm the eternal student. And also found this beautiful lady that taught me what she knew about shamanic healing. And then I became a practitioner in her business, and then I branched on my own. So a long story to tell you, I've seen many clients, and I've also been there as a client. So I know how desperate it can, it can feel, and how it's like nobody really understands what's going on. I mean, you can say you understand, but you don't really understand. And I very, very much respect it in others, because I don't really understand all the way what they feel. Only they can. And so it's not about fixing somebody, because I am not a fixer. It's about helping somebody that is coming to me with an issue to learn why or how to look at what's going on, and then learn how to help themselves, how to help you become more of who you already are. Because we think we're broken, and we're not. We think we need fixing. And if you're not broken, you don't need fixing. But it's good to be reminded every now and then of who and what we are.
Yes,
So
absolutely. I want to talk about what you've been saying. I know Terri wants to say something, because I could see it all over her lips. But you talk about the five, you call them five, what are they called?
realms.
Okay. I call them five canvases. And that's how they showed them to me.
Beautiful.
And I think each one of us has, you know, the divine works with us in different ways because, like we were talking about, I think in one of my podcasts about the Elohim being born in the human form to, relive out some of the mistakes because Elohim have made mistakes as well. And I truly believe that about us that are on this podcast right now. Because like just being on here with you, I'm so cold and shivering, just shaking in my, and the power around me is so strong. It's amazing. And before you got on here, I had did a shaman read, and it was telling me that it was time for me to find some new counselors. And I had already heard that today. Like everything has been literally talking to me, literally. And I'm going along with the 3D, but like I told Terri, I'm ready to quit my job and just disappear.
Yeah. No, that's a beautiful place, advanced state to be in, where you can talk to everything, when you kind of realize that everything is speaking with you.
So it's like the sleep has not been like really sleep. And so that's why I think I've been a lot like tired. I've been sleeping 11 hours and I still wake up tired because I'm involved with the 3D and I'm involved with the other dimensions as well. And they're all
You're working while asleep, huh?
I'm working while asleep. I'm working while I'm up. I'm working. I had to take a break every so often, maybe watch a funny movie. But majority of the time, I'm praying or I'm doing some kind of invocation or canceling contracts, annulling or bringing back to our forgiveness prayers or whatever. And it's a constant thing. I'm got my affirmations rolling every day. When I wake up, first thing happens. Affirmations go on, make my tea, get my stuff ready, whatever, and it play for hours. And then when I'm asleep, my music is playing for hours. So it's just like a constant work on. So there's a lot of power around me right now, but I'd like to just hear a little bit about what do you think you see, happening for me me and Terri in the next, year. What do you see coming? Because I know you have a sight you can see as well. I can see. That's what we were talking about. The bank job. It's like we were having a session and I told him and I was like, I hope he receives this. And my ego is like, I hope he receives this. But in my spirit is like, you need to tell him. You got to tell him this is what I'm telling you to tell him. So we're in a session and they tell me, hey, you got to leave your job. Like, I hope I'm trying to put it as sweet as I possibly freaking can. But, I'm just saying that.
Well, there is this energy that is the energy of unraveling something, of dissolving something that doesn't need to be here, of taking something that is here and moving it out, like winnowing it, because it's just too much, maybe. And I definitely see this energy in your field, like the energy that is sometimes feeling like something is going to be taken away from me. But that's not the only story. That's the story on the surface. And the question is what being taken away is what is supposed to be taken away, so that I can really focus on what is in, instead of getting my attention spread too thin and too many things are going and it's becoming overwhelming. What are the few things that I'm supposed to keep around me, that I'm supposed to go deeper in and with, that will bring the change that I'm looking for? And I think this is happening for you, and it's probably gonna play into the coming year, because when whatever is living, it like kicks in a renewal mechanism of something new coming in.
Yeah, I just feel like I was told this week, you're going to another level. You know, you're going to another frequency. So get ready, you're going to another frequency. That's what I was told.
And I'll say trust that voice.
Yeah, they say I'm going to another frequency. Like, I mean, people walk up to me at work, or I check people in, and then we just start having these strange conversations, and then all of a sudden they're like, wow, I wish I was hanging out with you, or boy, I really needed to hear that, or
yeah, I mean, there are many things you do.
It's like right? I'm already doing it for free, you know.
Exactly.
But it won't be that way much longer. It's like I'm in training to see if I'm going to respond in the way, and every time it's like my voice it's like, whoa. It's like it just whoa, comes out like, whoa. You know, I have no control. And it's so peaceful.
It's a very, you know,
so
that's
peaceful when it comes out. It's like like air. You know,
what
and
you're describing is the essence of creation. I mean, creation is with a word, right? And or with a sound. You know, like uttering something. That's how you create something. And I think that's a strength that you have. I mean, and it's speaking with people, it's speaking to, it's listening, which it's interesting that the listening and the speaking, from a chakra perspective, they're both in the throat. Mm-hmm. So the listening energetically is actually in the throat. It's not in the ears. Mm-hmm. And you're seeing. We just heard you. So you have lots of creativity that is asking to come out. And how it's going to be, it can be in many ways. If you like to be a healer, then that's how it'll manifest. Then you simply, you already got the knowing, I think.
Yeah, I'm already a healer. I've been healing before. I was healing before I even got into metaphysics.
Yeah.
I was healing as a child when I was 12, you know.
Yeah.
Healing people.
You always did this.
I've been healing people for a long time.
Now.
Yeah, but this is a whole different level, because it's like I'm not trying to do anything. It's just like I'm walking around with this antenna of white light hitting everything. Like, you know, not like before. I was a tornado. But it's just like
it's what you are.
Yeah, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna let Terri ask you, or you were going to tell Terri. Terri, unmute your mic, please. Thank you.
There we go.
Now go ahead and say what you want.
That was absolutely, for mine, it's just the opposite. I'm sitting here on fire. Okay. So it's like when you first started talking, you're going into that space, that you keep pointing to that space too. The left side of your I saw, I don't know, you should be familiar with it, the Shroud of Turin. That electrical fire energy that caused that imprint on that shroud from the resurrected Christ. I'm like, it was right next to you on that left side. It was like it was blending in with your face, blending in. I'm sitting there just going, and I'm not the kind that usually sees stuff with my eyes open. I'm the Edgar Casey. I get it all when I'm sleeping, and I start.
That's my brother.
Talking in my sleep and stuff. But now, for the past couple of years, it's been where I've actually literally seen stuff awake with my eyes open. And that was amazing. And I'm sitting, you probably see me moving around and stuff. I was literally on fire. And oh, good God, she's got it right there. Oh my God. Okay, so look.
So what you don't realize is what you just saw.
Yes.
Is I've been speaking to people for a while, and no one's hearing. There are very few people that are listening to me. Yeah. They literally think I'm losing it. When Sananza Jesus and Merlin came to me and told me, first it came to somebody else from a shaman and said, tell her to stop worshiping me. And then I'm like, why? And then I'm like, you're higher than me. And they're like, you're my sister.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And they like, look at your nose, look at your face. And my face turns gold sometimes. Literally, Ofer. Literally. I can see it just turns gold. Like I'm this thing.
Yeah.
This is Jesus, but it is Sananza. So I keep these things. I even have the statue. I keep these things.
Well, I've just seen it golden now, so.
Yes. Yeah. And so, not that I'm like built up on this high egotistical like thing. No, I'm like so low right now. How can I go, please? I'm trying to get
well,
the
you
door.
are
Door.
You're being true. Truth, you are in truth.
Yeah, and it feels so good. Yeah. And it feels so good. Yeah. And I've had a lot of negativity that got me to this place that I'm at now, and I'm literally watching things transform around me. My job is transforming around me. This house is transforming around me. Everything is transforming around me. And I'm like, just like the card said, I'm curious, I'm seeking. Where do I go from here?
That's a song.
There's got to be.
That's a song.
And they showed me the 5 canvases. So I told you, and then you named them in different ways, but they're the 5 canvases that you named, the 5 canvases that they showed me. I'm just saying, though, we got a lot in common. That I can't help it. I'm a comic. Okay.
What is trying to come in is already trying to come in for you. So.
It's already here. It's already. They're walking around my house, literally, like playing with my hair. It's just the whole thing. It's just the whole thing. So yesterday there were little cubs jumping around in my car. What in the world are you guys doing in here? Doing bringing this joy. I'm laughing, and I'm driving and I'm laughing. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could share this with somebody, because these little cubs are jumping all over my car. The Lyrans, they carry a big mantle for me. They are around me for protection, not only the Lyrans, the birds, which are
and also to have mutual fun.
Osiris, huh?
Mutual fun.
Also to have mutual fun. Have fun together.
I mean, and we have these these conversations are just hilarious. I've been having them and singing new songs and coming up with the beats, and it's just been awful. Just awesome. And I'm still working, still going every day, still, doing the same thing, going through, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And I'm just like, I'm in love with this energy. And if anybody cannot feel this energy, you're missing out. You're missing out. None of this materialistic stuff it's just like I'm in this rim. And this rim is like, it's so beautiful. And things keep coming up like this. And people keep giving me things. Where is this coming from?
The last 2 weeks of last year, I went into a mode of really being in like a magical place, and I was so immersed. I had all sorts of plans to do recordings and to do this and to do, and I've done nothing. I was just being immersed, and so I get it. It's so rewarding to be to really speak to these things that are calling you. It's rewarding for me. It's like good training for wherever I'm going, whatever I want to do with it, and it's much more attractive than, I don't know, watching a movie or whatever. So,
well, like today, I'm going to tell you, I was walking patrol, and I was on the ship, and they showed me the ship was moving the building. I'm walking, I'm like tilting. So I don't get, see, that's why they said in the cards that I'm going to get new counselors that are going to teach me. What was it saying, Terri? It's going to teach me. I need
how to be successful, to teach you how to be successful.
Path. Yeah, to see the path, to see it more clearly. Now, okay, let's go somewhere. On my father's side, I had an auntie no one liked. She turned into a green mist. You were talking about generations. Like you could be at a certain age and you could get depressed and da da da, and then you get sick and all that. I've seen all that. But the person that I have not saw come is the person no one liked that was intriguing, amazing, turned into a green mist. So is that part of my heritage? That even though I already know, the realms, I'm saying that maybe in this life I might walk in these where I'm able to disappear because I felt that and I've seen that. I put my phone to the thing and it will not see me. And I feel like I'm there a lot. And then the birds go chipping and like, oh, and I talk to them and they like, oh, you're such a pretty bird. And other birds say, oh, I see you too. And I said, pretty bird. And then other birds start going after the other bird because she's not talking to me. She's going to get you. And like going around in circles. Oh, I just wish you guys could be there when I'm dealing with some of this stuff. I'm walking and the trees are just, and like the other day, I mean, it's like visible. And it's like, okay, I saw you. I'm not scared, and we're just conversating and it's just like I'm having a good time with it. But there's more. There's more that I need to learn. There's more.
There's more. These are your gifts. Your gifts, and now how do you translate it into the more?
Yes.
And I think that's what's coming is that is this translation of gifts. It might feel for you, I just want to say this, it might feel for you like limiting, like somebody is trying to limit what you're what you do. But this limiting, you can think of it as channeling into the most useful direction.
Yeah.
Like guidance. What is guidance? It's telling you go
I don't
here,
resist.
not there.
The resistance slows the process down. So I don't resist anymore. That's one thing. If I see myself resisting, I instantly go in on myself.
I would say that even slowing things down sometimes is necessary. That's the Saturn thing, that it will slow you down, because if you don't slow down, you're going to be overwhelmed. It's like, think of it as the light coming to you. When there's too much light, it's going to be very overwhelming, and then you become blinded and you can't really see. It's too much. When you slow things down, another way to see it is it's moving through some filter. You start receiving things in ways that you can actually work with, and that, more importantly, others can work with, because you can work with anything, but what can the others work with?
Right. Well, I'm just like, I'm in O right now. I'm going to tell you, I'm humbled right now. And, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've had a lot of people turn against me. Like people, I mean, I'm just like, and I'm like, why? Why? And they text me this this terrible stuff. I mean, these are family members now. And I'm like, why? And instead of me reacting, like trying to defend myself, I just let it go because it's not true. It's an illusion, you know, and I don't have the energy to invest in that right now. That's not where my energy is being invested.
And it's also even more than that, because you already trained yourself enough that you know that if this trigger is coming from your family, the same trigger that used to make you jump now feels pretty neutral. That's kind of testament to all the work you've already done all these years to be in this place, because it wasn't always easy.
No,
but now it's your nature.
Yeah,
now you don't take it in anymore.
You know, I used to 911 you all the time because it was like, it was heavy, but now it's like, I'm not even, it's not moving me. You know, I'm invested in me. I'm invested in bringing out the best version of Pamela, you know,
Exactly.
pulling back and being kind to me. Because that right there is something I haven't done in a long time. Is just pull back and be kind to myself.
Yeah.
And not worry about anybody else being kind to me. Why would I even think about somebody else being kind to me and I'm not being kind to myself?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at right now, Ofer, you know.
Beautiful.
And also treating people the way I want to be treated. You know, that's my number one.
That's the magnetics.
Yeah, that's my number one shoes. My shoes are treating people the way I want to be treated, no matter what they're doing. That's none of my business. You know. So, but I also got that thing about you saying we kind of bubble our stuff and suppress it. I don't think I do that anymore. I think I kind of let it come to the head and I work it out.
No, you're good at releasing all this stuff. And
yeah.
Release is the name of the game. Letting all this go because it's not yours to begin with.
No. And I just, you know, I really like that we're able to come together and make a change. You know, and people are seeing these podcasts because I'm hearing about people seeing them, you know, and I like people to like support Ofer. He is amazing. You know, all of our guests are amazing. You know, so please support Ofer and Alchemical Flame. He's worked on me several times, and I'm telling you, it is worth every bit of it and more. More universe, more.
Yeah, I can attest to that too, because I had that session with you a while back that just flipped my whole life in that moment. You know, it opened me up more to what I really, really wanted, but I had not been allowing myself to open up to it. I've been covering it up, making excuses. And it was like, what do you feel? Right then, just open it more to the people and it will all open up to you. So I did that and everything flipped. I took the action like right away. I think I made the phone calls right away. And the next thing I know, I was out doing what I really, really love to be doing, which was the music on the stage. I even had the church saying, when are you going to come back? Are you going to come back for good? What do we, you know, I'm like, oh. And the only reason I went back is because a cat, our church cat, passed away. And we used to have, when we used to live at our church, we would let the cat in at night. We weren't supposed to, but we did. So the cat was like, we were really close to us. And he was the first being there when we would come in for rehearsals and anything. He's out there. You know, I got pictures of him on my car, around my car. And it was like he showed up and like an angel over my body. And it was saying to me, bring back the joy, bring back the joy, you know. And then when I got with you, you said, open it up. And so I went right back in and I had the blast. And even right now, I think I mentioned to Pamela, my church, it turned into something a little bit, not quite this, that, and the other. And now the main person is being changed out for a whole new path.
Yeah. You're a cleaner. Like, you're an energy cleaner. You go places and you clean the energy out, just like me. That's why we're here together. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it's amazing shifts are happening. So yeah.
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 Yeah, your atmosphere, your atmosphere changes other people's atmospheres when you walk
Absolutely.
into the door. And you've
Absolutely.
seen my atmosphere change. Like, oh my God, what's happening around me? I took her with me, and she came down to San Diego to my house. So I took her all over. But yeah, it's amazing to be in my presence and go somewhere. Me and Ofer went to the store before together to get some, what was that, chicken feed or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, I'm telling you, I walk in the stores, people are sweet, nice. It's a very rare occurrence. Now, today I was tested. I told Terri, but I was tested because I was supposed to do that. They want to see
Oh yeah, that
if
yeah.
I could get the bird. And then
Bird.
we laughed, and then we laughed like a long time. Like, why did you do that? I like, I don't know. You told me to give him the bird. Oh my God. It was so
I'm just trying to imagine it.
I know. I'm such a nice person. It's sometimes you just gotta be nasty.
Sometimes you have to let that out. Sometimes you have to be a bad girl because everybody
Yeah,
else
you just
expects you
gotta
to
let
be
it
the
out. And I
sweet
did it so nicely. I
person
put on my
and
black gloves and
yeah.
I opened my window and I just went like that. I didn't put my face out, make ugly faces and all that. Like most people do. I don't never do that because my auntie used to do that. And then when she's driving somebody, she was always, let me chase that person. They just got in front of
Road
me.
rage.
I said, oh my God, I don't want to drive with my auntie anymore. She has road rage. And she's running a freaking Christian organization. If anybody had this going on, they
Yeah.
wouldn't listen to her and let her pray for them at all.
Yes.
I tell you,
Sometimes we
my
must
life has been
express
nothing but a
ourselves in certain
circus.
ways. Yeah, sometimes we must express ourselves in certain ways at certain times because the world is expecting us to be this goody two shoes.
Right.
We're
And when
not
I
goody
gave
two
them the
shoes.
bird, they backed off.
Yeah, sometimes we have to do that. It's not always turn the other cheek. Although the other cheek is that other part of it you're turning
That
towards.
was the
Yeah,
cubs
that
jumping
is
all
that.
around in my car. I
Yeah.
told them, calm down.
Yeah.
All right, Offer, take us
Yes.
out. We're going to let you do a very beautiful. I love it.
Would you like to do
He
something
does
for
things with his hands that I didn't even know how I was doing, but he does this and he pulls things and does things. And I like when he does that. So I'm going to let him work it out. We're going to do as he says and instruct us.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do something for exhaustion because, like I mentioned, we can sleep a whole night, you said it, Pam, and still feel tired, and the exhaustion can go deep. What is it? It's not just what we think our body needs. It comes down to life energy, life force energy. That's what it comes down to. And so somebody might take away our life force energy. We might give it away. We might be giving it away because we worry about somebody, because we worry about a child, or we worry about a spouse, or we worry about something, and we just go there, whether we're asleep or awake. We just go there and do the work while we're asleep, and then we wonder why we're tired. And there are all these things about, is your house clear, is your land clear, is there anything around you, is there anything about your beliefs that is causing you to feel stuck, that is pulling your energy and pulling on it? Is your family pulling on your energy? All this consumes so much energy. And also this that you just mentioned is how you are in public. What face we put on us is taking so much energy. And you know, when you know, if you go to a job and you have to put a face that is not your face on you for 9 hours straight, this is going to be very, very energy consuming. So just consider all this as energy takers, that we don't have to be like this. It doesn't have to be like this. It's the truth. And so let's go through a short exercise to just show us what we can do with the alchemical flame. Just close your eyes and remember this flame that is in the center of your chest, that is not burning, but is warm and is very beautiful and connecting you to creation. And take a deep breath. And when you do, bring with this breath in something that is needed for you right now. Something that feels like, I need this. And if it's energy, then I need some energy. And when you breathe out what you don't need, what is time to leave, what is perhaps have been poisonous to you, what was too much, what's overwhelming, or what's literally poisonous for the body, what the body rejects. Let it out through the breath. And then bring your awareness to this beautiful flame at the center of your heart, of your chest, and ask, where do I feel exhausted and fatigued? Where in my body do I feel exhausted? And as you say that, see how these places lit up. They light up because you're signaling to your flame, do something. And your alchemical flame is. What it's doing is touching these places. You can feel how it goes anywhere in the body that needs this gentle touch of this divine flame in you. And when it's touching a place that feels blocked or heavy or numb, it releases something. And ask, what are the beliefs that I'm still holding on to after all these times that I told myself I shouldn't be thinking this way? What are these beliefs? And simply let them be there in front of the flame, and the flame move through them, and see how they dissolve simply by the touch. And some of them are transformed to better beliefs, to beliefs that are helpful, that are motivating, that are self-affirming, and some simply are gone. And ask yourself, who is it that is taking away my energy, that is sucking away my energy dry? Who is that without my permission thinks that they can feed on my energy? And then that's a connection. Let the flame burn through that connection, through that cording, and let it be dissolved and gone. Let the flame also rebuild your boundaries, because you have beautiful boundaries and they can be shiny. They don't need to be dark and ugly. They can be shiny around you. Beautiful, beautiful areas that allow in what your body needs, what your heart needs, perhaps grace, divine love, and healing. And they won't allow in, and they deflect whatever is not necessary. Whatever is not good for you is not coming in. You're not taking any more shame of others. And so let the flame help cement these boundaries, these beautiful boundaries, and let the flame now burn down walls that are not helping, walls that are blocking you from moving forward. Let them be gone. And ask yourself, am I giving of myself so much that there's nothing left? Am I giving too much? Am I giving of myself too much? And you'll know. And now the flame goes into that connection, into that corridor that is pulling and pushing energy out of you because you simply allowed it. And in some cases, you even asked for it because you don't know when to say enough is enough. And flame is very gently saying, well, I'll help you. That's enough. You're good. And everything becomes quieter and everything becomes this beautiful flow that goes in and out without forcing. And what tries to come in is either deflected or transformed by the flame. In some cases, the flame will simply burn it away. And what's not yours in the body is being transformed or sent out by the flame. The flame knows what's your signature, what's your vibratory signature, and it will not touch that. But anything that doesn't vibrate in alignment with your signature is done. It's not going to stay here. It's not helping. And it's never helping to hold on to somebody's neediness or somebody's judgment. And so just let your flame do the work, because it doesn't have to be hard. It's not you having to think through all the stories. Remember, we talked about you don't need to remember all these thoughts. Just bring up the feeling, bring up some kind of knowing, and let the flame do the work for you. And when you're ready, simply feel again how your body is supported and is held by creation, by this beautiful divine essence that is all around you, by grace. And when you're ready, bring your awareness back behind your eyes and open your eyes and be back here.
Little pain in my chest right here. It just like started hurting like something was stabbing me. It came from here. I knew what it was. And I was letting it go. And then it went straight into my like collarbone, where this fake collarbone is at. So yeah, just but when you said that it's hugging me, I've been feeling that a lot.
Yeah.
Hugging. Yeah. It's like,
yeah, and things will come up that are supposed to come up because they're coming up to be released, and so everything is as it should be. And also this process, because you started it, is going to continue. It doesn't stop just because we stopped. So
yes,
it's in the works.
Yes, it is. Terri, do you have anything to say?
That's beautiful. I feel more relaxed, and I can feel the energy moving around in my body and then moving out. That's just, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah.
Well,
Very deep. Thank you.
let's
Thank you so
get
much.
ready
Oh my
for-
God.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
For our ending, to release our techniques to the multiverse.
Multiverse.
Let them just do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah.
From the next time we meet, we will be having Ofer on in February, as soon as he tells me what date. And because we're going to continue these series that help to mend the heart of the broken. Or maybe you're not broken at all. Maybe you're not even broken anymore. Maybe you rose from that part of being broken and you're already healed. We want you to get there and we want you to understand it's just a simple, simple task. Your faith in who you are and what you've experienced. Here we are.
Surrounds me, love that lifts me, love that flows endlessly through me. I choose to have more abundance, abundance in my body, abundance in my home, abundance in every corner of my life.
We're coming to
I choose to have more
multi-crowns.
Freedom to move,
Harmonic crowns of the multiverse.
freedom to create.
We really appreciate you being here. We thank our guest, Ofer Niv from Alchemical Flame. We'll be back next week with Alfonso Diaz. Yeah, she's coming all the way from Maui. And we're going to have a beautiful time as we bring infinite possibilities to you. Enjoy your evening. We love you so very much. Love is the key. Remember, always believe
miracles
in
are there
miracles.
for me.
And remind you that you
I choose to have more than I once imagined,
More than I dare to dream.
and as I choose more,
Pouring blessings into my hands, filling me with all that is good, all that is possible.
all that is mine.